Boy, you had me from the start. By the way you stare, the way you rolled up on me, yeah. Man, I felt your energy. Wasn't used to being loved and treated differently, yeah. But something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're on completely different pages. Let's go where we were, where no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Will you take me on a trip? Always up and down and back and forth in merry-go-round. I just wanna get it right, but when you go left, I'm stuck here feeling left behind.
Through thick and thin, for better or for worse. After 20 plus years of marriage and 3 children, my parents are sharing their love, care, and wisdom throughout the world. Spreading this love won't be hard for them because it's simply in their DNA. I present Donnell and Angelique Jackson.
Welcome to Divine DNA. I'm one of your hosts, Donnell, and this is my beautiful queen,
Angelique.
How's everybody doing out there? Oh, man.
Happy Divine DNA Day.
Hey.
Hey,
Brittany's in the building.
Brit.
We got Miss Chrissy. Hey. Miss Brenda.
Hi,
How you
Miss
doing?
Brenda.
How you doing? And of course,
Queen Bee.
Queen Bee's in the building. Yes. All right. Okay, we have some more people to
Hi, Katisha.
Hey.
Chef Katisha.
Miss Storm, welcome.
Hi,
Thank you guys
Storm.
for coming. Thank you guys for coming.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. So listen, we got a couple of things we're going to talk about. But first, before we get into that, we want to give you some good points of, we went on a trip.
Latest events.
Yes.
Latest events are, we went on a quick trip to Miami for the last weekend of April, going into the beginning of this month. And although the trip wasn't without a little bumps, we really enjoyed ourselves, and it was really refreshing. We've been going through some things, y'all.
Yeah.
And you probably could feel it through the screen, but we are in a better place this week.
Yes.
We're counting our blessings.
Most definitely.
And trying to keep the faith and a positive outlook.
Yeah.
But we feel much better after a weekend back in Miami. I absolutely love the beach.
She got to play in the sand,
I don't know.
y'all.
Miami will always be home if it's for no other reason than the beach. And our families that are still there, family members, we got to see some of our family members. They look weary. I know that the cost of living is wearing them out.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got out, and go ahead, babe.
Yeah, no problem. Now, what she ain't gonna tell you, she had her feet in the sand, playing in the sand like a little kid, giggling and stuff like that, having a good time, playing in the water, holding the baby and things like that. She had a good time. She keeping that away from y'all, but she had a good time. I was glad she had a good time. And then we went by this place. Listen.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna let her tell, because the way she.
No.
That was your spot. That was your spot. I'm telling you, that was just.
It's this restaurant that I've been following in North Miami. It's called Treats and Beat Eats, even though I normally just say Treats and Beats. But it's Treats and Beat Eats on Northwest 7th Avenue and 131st Street. Been following her. She's a pastry chef that happens to be a soul food cook. And I was just interested in tasting her food because everything looked good. She had excellent reviews. And let me tell you, every everything was good. Everything, the drinks, the entrees, the sides, everything. I had oxtails. He had turkey wings. The baby had chicken wings, fried chicken wings. Everything was good. The best drink, we tried all of her drinks except for one, and that was one that was called Florida Water.
Mm-hmm.
But the pink print is our favorite. It was made of dragon fruit, strawberry, pineapples. Oh man, when I tell you it was delicious.
Man, it was.
And they had strawberry cornbread that tasted like strawberry cake.
Listen.
And I know y'all like, the last thing y'all need to be talking about is food. Y'all need to be talking about working out. But listen, we like to eat.
It was so good. I mean, it was like one of those hole in the wall type places. And then when I saw it, I was like, it was small.
It was in a strip mall.
Yes.
Not a hole in the wall.
I mean, technically.
No, a hole in the wall is in an alley where you don't want to go.
But it was really good. We really enjoyed ourselves. We'll keep going on and on about that.
Yes. If you're ever in Miami and you want some excellent food and service, Treats and Be Eats. Or Treats and Beats on Northwest 7th Avenue.
That don't sound too good.
Yes, Anjali, girl. It was everything. Yes, Gabby. Girl, if you don't believe me, follow her on Instagram. It's Treats with an S in.
She gone.
Like Nancy, Beats with a Z. Treats and Beats.
She said you had us at Dragon Fruit.
Yes, and she also makes homemade puddings. But instead of it being pudding, it's kind of like, I want to say custard, but it's different. But she'll mix anything in it. She had one with Fruity Pebbles in it. She had one with key lime cake in it. The key lime was excellent. The Tutti Frutti wasn't bad.
All day. Key lime.
This week, she put dragon fruit in the pudding. Listen, I'm like, maybe I need to fly home this weekend so I can get one of those.
Yep.
Because
booking the chair.
Absolutely delicious.
People leaving.
The Airbnb that we stayed in was so beautiful, so airy, so bright. It really refreshed us. It really lifted us. And what's the other latest events we wanted to discuss? Because we can go on and on.
Yeah, we'll keep going on. We'll keep going on.
Miami.
We're going to talk to you, or we're going to tell you a few shows that we got coming up.
Yes.
Coming up this week, because this month is our anniversary month.
Yes, darling.
Yes, it's our anniversary month.
We got to be 23 years married.
Yes.
And 25 years together.
Yes. And we got some plans. We just got to make sure that we can, do those plans, do what we want to do or whatnot. But definitely we're gonna spend time. I already got my days off of work, so that's a given. That's definitely a given.
Oh, and I do have new specs. You
Oh.
probably can't tell that they're like a candy apple red.
You showing out?
/ burgundy, but these are my new specs, y'all.
That's what we're doing.
Oh, latest events.
Latest events? Okay. That's part of the events.
I'm part of the bifocal club now.
Yes.
That means I'm twice the greatness here. That's what that means.
Okay. I can dig that.
Yes, Queen Bee, red girl, red.
Say red, huh? So
Redbone Coalition.
I'm done with you today. So our next show, we're probably going to be talking about what we did on our anniversary, which is next week, which is in about 2 weeks.
On the 20th is our anniversary.
The 24th is when we have the next show. I believe we'll be talking about those. But like the wife said, our anniversary is on the 20th. We'll be celebrating a whole weekend. Then after that, I think that's when we decided to do a show to get, I guess we're going to get a little bit deeper.
Yes.
Because I know there's a lot of things, we come on the show and, we discuss certain things about what kept us together and try to help you guys, or just give you a description of what we actually have been through or whatnot. But next month, we're going to talk about something I don't think we've ever talked about on the show. and we're going to actually talk about the time that myself and my wife separated. We had a moment where we actually said,
Yes,
I know,
yes,
yes,
Mandy.
yes, Mandy.
I know
yes.
you can barely believe
I know.
that. And
Yeah.
we have not only separated once, we have separated twice.
Yes.
And
Yes.
come back together. So
yes, our backstage is in shock. I think
yes,
we might not have guests
because we want to let you know that love is not perfect. Marriage and relationships are not perfect.
Yes.
You are going to go through things,
Yes.
but it's how you handle them. Are you willing to do the work?
Mhm.
Are you supposed to do the work?
I know.
And you coming out of it. So we are going to discuss separation. We're also going to discuss narcissism. So get yourself together for narcissism. This is Mental Health Awareness Month for the month of May. The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to talk about some issues like narcissism, gaslighting. What's the other one I wanted to discuss?
We wrote it down, but y'all get the gist of it.
Yes, we're going to cover some ground this month and
Yes.
give you some tools to navigate. So we did separate. We did come together to discuss whether we would be better together, better apart, or are we going to make this work, or what the case may be. And as you can see, we are together. We are making it work, and we are better together.
Yes, most definitely. So we'll be doing that, and also an exclusive to the Divine DNA. We're going to have just on our webpage, exclusive to Divine DNA.
On the Divine DNA YouTube page channel.
Myself and one of my King's Court members, yes, we're going to be talking to a young
Queen Bee.
Queen Bee, not the fake. Okay, we got people back. So this actually just came up, and it might not be live, might be recorded, but myself and one of our kings were going to have a discussion with a young man.
An intervention?
Right, pretty much an intervention. And this intervention is going to be with our daughter's baby's father. Yes, Queen Bee.
Yes, Queen Bee.
Yes, man. Yes.
It is time, Queen Bee.
It is time. We're going to have this intervention. We're going to talk about some things.
Get a drink right now.
We're going to be talking about some things, and I want to use it as an educational. We want to use it as educational purposes to help and to be able to talk to young men and try to coach them into being better young men. And this is just a start.
Yes, Brittany.
Yes, Britt. Yes.
Hey, Manuel.
Yes. And I would have done it live, but no, because I know that I have a lot of very, very nice and loving people in the audience. And that day would have been a very interesting day. So myself and my king, we came together and said, we might have to record this and then allow them to see it, because we do it live. We're not going to go there. So it will not be live. So sorry. So sorry to all of those folk who would love to have seen it live. It will not be.
Hi, Sherlyn.
Hey, Sherlyn. Hey. So, but I did speak with him. I'm not bringing him on here to belittle him. The
date is, it's not next week, is it June?
I'm not sure exactly when, because we have to actually schedule the actual recording. And once we go from there, trust, I will definitely let you guys know. But you will know by the next show, you will know of the date. So just stay tuned. It's coming. It's overdue. And he was willing to. I need a 3. Oh, a 3. Yeah, you'll get the notice. A 3-hour notice. A 3-hour notice. Look, she said she need a 3. Hold on.
Oh Lord.
She need a 3-hour notice. Wow. So yeah.
She say, hold up.
Yes, hold up.
I'm coming over there.
Oh man.
I know you, friend. I know you.
Yes. So to get into Today's.
Oh, Emmanuel said he needs a whole day's notice. Oh, we got backup.
You got. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh. So today,
those are the latest events.
And this is why it's not live. So today, what's going on today is that myself and my wife actually are going to be in the hot seat. Before we were in the hot seat with the takeover. Not. Yes. Before we had this, the takeover queens had us in the hot seat asking us questions,
burning questions.
Yes. So we brought in 2 other people who are very near and dear to us. We're going to bring them up, and they're going to ask us some burning questions because it is our anniversary month. So I figured, hey, they want to ask some questions. I know one of them did want to ask some questions. I got my.
Brittany said she got a black Air Forces ready.
See, Chris, we did right, Chris. We did right. We did right, sir. Let me bring up our guests so we can, because they still on it.
Hey.
Let me bring my people up. What's up, Mandy? And what's up, Chris? How y'all doing?
Namaste, everybody. What's going on? You have me back here like, wait, what?
I know.
That's exactly why I said.
Yes.
No, I don't think we ought to
do
do
it
that
live.
live.
I don't care how. Listen, we was back there.
That's a juicy one.
Listen, I told Chris, I said, listen, well, what if we did it live and we just had them? He said, bruh, your wife, Queen B, that is it. No.
Maybe in the comments.
Yeah, and then
ask him.
This would have been me.
And I would have been like, wait, say that answer again.
But then, the first thing that Chris said was, she said, so how are you going to keep your wife's facial expressions down? I said, she's not getting on screen.
I'm not going to.
She's not going to be on screen.
She's not going to have it.
She's not going to be on screen. It's going to be me, him, and Chris.
That's all.
I think that's very interesting. Yep. Other people would definitely learn from it, especially new parents and fathers, mothers, period. They would learn how to teach each other how to be there for each other. Because I think that's what people miss. Yes. They miss that part of it. They need to be there for each other. Yeah, it's hard.
To get to the topic, because we already knew how this was going to be.
And feel free to ask
I got like a lot of questions over here. If you guys can see my book, I'm ready.
Okay.
And feel free to ask questions in the comments. We'll get to them as we can.
Yes.
So, about my spot that y'all was eating at. So, did y'all try the sweet heat chicken wings or the banana pudding?
Well,
we got the sweet heat on the side because our baby doesn't really do heat. And we have it here, but we have not tasted it. It's in the refrigerator now. So as soon as I fry some chicken, I'm going to pour that sweet heat on it so I can taste it.
As soon as you said treats and beets, I was like, on 107? Oh, I tasted a whole oxtail in my mouth.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I'm sick and I'm ready to eat. I haven't ate all day, but now I am. I'm ready to eat. Banana pudding is my heart. With the Nutella wafers, ooh.
If you
got some banana pudding down there, I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go take a trip with everybody in the comments. They're already booking flights.
Yes. Gabby booking flights, everything.
Gabby. Nutella is good too.
Hold on.
Them words so small. Look, I need to borrow your new set of eyes so I can see them words.
I didn't even know you had new glasses, but they look beautiful though. I was really looking at that shirt you have on, Mrs. Jackson. That shirt is bomb. I was like, I like that shirt.
The reason, Mandy, why you couldn't tell like that she had new glasses on is because she always rocking the new. Her name should be New,
right? She got new hair, the new shirt, the new lipstick.
The new.
She putting the address
Alrighty.
down and everything. There we go.
Yes.
All right. We did have a question already
Start
before we
booking
even
your
got
flights.
started.
Really?
We did.
We do?
I highlighted. I
Oh my
highlighted
goodness.
because I was talking
Okay.
about okay. How do you be there for someone who won't let you in?
You can't be.
Mm,
You got to give them their space until they are ready.
Yes.
You can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do. And believe me, you don't want to, because if you force them, they're going to attack you and you're going to feel worse. You got to give people their space.
Facts.
Let them heal. And if they want to, they'll come to you. If not, it's a whole world full of people waiting. You don't have to try to force one person to be what you want. It's a whole world waiting. You just got to take your time and get to know people before you move too fast.
Facts.
detachment. That would be my answer.
Hi, keeping up with T Heat.
Oh, that's Trucker Heath.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
Trucker Heat.
Storm.
It's another.
Yeah, it's Trucker Heath, Storm.
That's part.
Seen Buttercup.
They be riding out too. What's on? What's going on, everybody? Yes. So, Mandy, I know you have a book full of questions. We'll go ahead and let you have your first question. And trust, the takeover queens are watching, so do them justice.
They know I got them. Before I even ask a question, I just wanted to bring again that it is mental health awareness. So please, anybody, it doesn't even matter if it's yourself or anybody you know, please seek help, or please seek talking to a friend or something. I know it could be very difficult, but it could be very beneficial when you seek help and not fight it alone, because you don't have to do it alone. And if you need help, you can always head over to one of us and we will always help. But now to get into one of my burning questions, and I've been dying to ask this for months. What is some advice you could share to a person who wants to get married but is scared?
Why are you scared? Your feelings do matter,
Right.
and your feelings are valid. So you have to find out the why. Why are you scared? Are you scared because all you've seen is cheating and beating your whole life? Are you scared because they're giving you flashbacks of previous relationships, or you're just scared to take a chance because previous relationships haven't worked? You got to get down to the knit and the grit of, why do I feel this way?
Right.
Is it me? Is it them? Is it both of us?
Right.
What's the root of the problem? Or what's the root of the fear?
Right.
And do you think it not just a woman but a man would be scared of getting married as well?
Definitely. Men, I think, are more scared than us.
Oh, first of all, no. I'm not gonna do.
He said, "Well,
What happened, Grim?
I think it's quiet as it's kept. I think they're more afraid than us. Of course, they have to be big and strong and burly and stand at the altar like, I'm the man. I'm getting this
Right.
prize and we finna do this thing. But I think they're just as uncertain as us, because you got to think about, when you're getting married, you're standing up there at that altar in front of people and God, promising to stay by this person no matter what. And you don't know what that no matter what is going to be. So it's a scary thing, because there are no guarantees, and you are going to go through some things that's going to test your mettle and be like, okay, you said you were in it for the long haul. Let's see. Let's throw this joblessness at you. Let's throw this sickness at you. Your parents don't get along with your spouse. Let's throw that in. So many things can happen. So many, your children acting up, and one person want to give the child their way, the other person don't want to give the child their way. So many things are going to come your way as a couple, and you're standing at that altar like, I promise to be here. I promise to stay. And when the shit hits the fan, without a better expression, you don't know sometimes. Sometimes you're like, man, I don't know if I can do this. This shit is intense. And I'm more than that, I'm just tired.
Right.
But that's the challenge of it all. And you have to talk yourself through it, walk yourself through it. And you know that your spouse is worth it because you took that chance. You took that chance to marry them. So you know they're worth it. And you just work through the kinks, communication, negotiations, hell, sometimes therapy. And therapy can be talking to a good friend or laying your head on their lap and crying. I mean, you do what works and you do what gets you through. Um, it's a scary thing. So when it comes to marriage, I can understand the fear because the fear is real. You're promising to do so many things that you aren't sure you are able to do until the situations present themselves, and then you have to work through them. And that's what it is.
Yeah, some guys don't like to. Some guys don't like to fail, and failure. I mean, you're going to fail at some things, and it's not necessarily just because you're getting married, but men like to. If men say something, they want to be able to follow through with it, and they don't want to disappoint. And then if they've had that bad or that relationship where something went wrong and it was minor, but that person made it major, then they're afraid that, okay, well, if I mess up and it's small, what if she makes it big? My marriage is over, then I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So you go through. Sometimes you go through those feelings. You just don't want to fail. So of course.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Come on,
So,
Chris.
Come with it, Chris. So that you got
what were your expectations of your family and yourself? Like, what expectations did you have for yourself, and what expectations did you have of your family when you got married, and then when you had, your kids?
Children.
I expected to build a family that would break some generational chains and curses. I come from two alcoholic parents who were not there for us really. So I wanted to break that chain when I had my children and when I had my family. I wanted to make sure I was a loving, available, sober, hands-on parent. And for my children, I expected when I brought them up in this environment of love and hands-on and hovering and covering, I expected them to harness what was being given to them and run and do greater things with it. I discussed that with him before we got married. Before we got married, I'm like, look, and I don't come from a background of good marriages either. Those that were married, listen, it was a cheating and beating and carrying on going on. Outside babies, that kind of foolishness. I'm like, look,
right.
I didn't know I wanted to be married until I met him because I had seen so much. I was like, I don't know about that because I can't go through none of that. I can't take no whoopings. You're not gonna cheat on me. I'm not staying. I'm going after the first one. And when I have children, I need a daddy in the place. I don't want to do it by myself. And I still did it. I still started off by myself with my son. So at 19, I had my son, and I met him when my son was 4. But the way that it happened with my son's father, it was smoke and mirrors. He presented himself to be a certain thing until I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, that's when I saw who he really was. And he was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And then I was on my own. You know what I mean? So coming into my husband, it was a very, let me ease into this thing. Let me get to know him. Let me not move too fast because my son's father, it was Hurricane Andrew, which catastrophic events will cause you to move faster than you normally should because you're trying to hurry up and get back to normal. So Hurricane Andrew happened. I met my son's father. He wined, dined, danced me, and presented himself as the man, and then pregnant, and then he was somebody else. So That's how that happened, in a nutshell. But when I met my husband, we started off as friends.
Yes.
And then it moved from friends to I like you. And then from I like you to I'm in love with you. And progressive until he proposed and we got married. But before we got married, because we had that friendship, we were able to discuss our expectations and no pressure. Because if we don't work, we gonna still be friends.
Right.
So that's how that happened. And I was able to let him know I expect faithfulness. I expect you to stay. I expect us to work through problems and not yell and scream and curse. I grew up with Hellraisers, so I really want a peaceful household. I'm a very loving person, so I need somebody that's just as loving, and I found that in him. So we felt like we had the components to let's put this thing together and build. Now, when it comes to the children's,
damn children,
quite different.
Yes. Now, in my younger days,
Yes.
I was very judgmental of parents because you always see the mama who go to church every Sunday who have a drug addicted child just running rampant in the streets and cutting a damn fool. And you're like, well, what the hell she done did to that child? Well, she going to church and he can't get right. Now, as a parent and experiencing after these 3, I understand you can do everything right and they still do wrong. They still not turn out the way you want them to. They still do the exact opposite of what you taught them to do. And we're dealing with some of those consequences right now. Child is all I'm gonna say about that. We don't talk about that another time because yes, one of the show's topics is going to be how does parenting children affect marriage? Because believe it does.
I was gonna ask that. That was gonna be my next question.
Yes.
It was gonna be, did the marriage struggle or grow stronger when you had children?
The marriage grew stronger when we had children because it brought more struggle.
Yeah.
It brought more questions. It brought more things to talk about. Our different parenting styles. Because I was way more lenient and wanted to give way more things. And he was like, no. You got to make them work for something.
Right.
You can't just give them everything.
I can say no, and all of a sudden I come home and be like, hey, they're planning. I'm like,
yep.
The hell is
I
that?
said no.
And the perfect example is our son. I told my son in middle school not to take his Game Boy handheld to school. He took this thing to school anyway, and somebody stole it.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. And then I was like, he lost it.
He was like, he lost it.
That's too bad.
He was looking so sad. You know what I did? Totally.
Went and bought another one.
Went and bought another one.
That's what I would do.
And you know what that did? It made him mad at me.
Part of the problem. Yeah.
So we had to work through that.
Right.
So you got having children, it does increase the struggle because you have different parenting styles. Now, when it comes to the oldest daughter, this one is way more lenient. And I'm like, no. And he just came on board and stood with me on some things and like went beyond me to tell her no about some things. So now we're on the same page. But it was
hell no.
Exactly. So parenting affects the relationship immensely because the children's some of them just want to run rampant. They want to play the 2 points to the middle so they can get their way.
Yep.
Right. I definitely felt that one because I have 7 and all of them pinpoint, like they pin us against each other. That's one of the reasons why I asked, I'm scared. Like the children make me scared because, especially when a parent, I've been told before that, I don't know if you, Miss Jackson, and you could answer this, if you find yourself sometimes being more of a mother than a wife. And I got told that not too long ago. And I was like, wait, what?
Especially when they're small. When they are small, you like, oh, my baby, my baby, my baby. especially when they're small.
Kid. Pray for me, y'all.
So yes, in the beginning of our marriage, I was definitely more of a mom than a wife. And as time went along, I had to discipline myself to become more of he's important. I got to make sure he knows he's important. And I got to make sure I look out for him as well and not just look out for these children.
Right.
But it was a process.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Chris. It's your headphones.
You about to go in.
So yes, Mandy, but it can be overcome. Now that you are aware, you just have to put in those small steps to go through the process to discipline yourself to make sure your partner is included and you set aside time for them to make sure they're okay and that you all are okay. And you make sure you spend time together. Date night is very important. I don't care if you just lock your bedroom door and sit in the bed and eat dinner and watch a movie or a TV show. That's a date.
Yeah, when we did her birthday, her birthday weekend, that first night, it was just me and her. And when I tell you, we sat back and I said, shh, the quiet was so serene. It was amazing. And that was like the best date night. We ate barbecue. Yeah, we ate barbecue. And
I watched my beloved Forensic Files.
And as soon as we turned on the TV, it's like it must have been like from the heaven. As soon as we turned on the TV, what's on the show? Forensic Files. So I was like,
it was coming.
I was like, you can watch your show. And I sat back and I'm like,
until it got later on, and then he turned on his show, y'all.
After 4 hours of her show, I mean,
but it was my birthday weekend.
We both watched the same. Really? We both watched the same show. I was like, babe.
But I do watch his show with him.
Because after a while, you know what I'm saying, you start looking at Forensic Files, so you start looking at the place that you said, is somebody coming in the house? You know what I'm saying? But we watched the same show.
Had a great time. Yep. That was a phenomenal weekend.
Yes, 24 hours.
The silence was amazing.
Right.
Yes, Storm. Forensic Files is everything.
Exactly. While Queen Beat was there, it never changed. The channel never changed.
Sorry, moving for her.
Anjali has a question. Anjali says, what do you do with disagreeing about this with the kids as a step parent? I don't think I have the same right. You do have the right to communicate.
The hell you don't.
You do have the right to communicate what you think, and especially if something isn't right. Mm-hmm. Now, that person is the parent, so they may or may not take your advice into consideration. And are you ready to handle that? How are you going to negotiate that? Because communication is not just talking. Communication is negotiations.
Yeah, Chris. I know Chris. I don't know if you're talking or just whispering to yourself, but anyway.
Chris, talk your shit.
When Darius was 4, was 4. That's when he came into my life. So after we were together, I was the step parent, but after some time, I want to say I didn't want to be the step parent. I wanted to be the parent. I didn't want to consider him my stepson. He was my son. You know what I'm saying? And then my wife, she started to realize that I wasn't, stepdad. I was actually being, dad. And then she was still protective in a sense in the beginning, but then it was more or less, your dad said this, your dad said that, because it wasn't dad in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It was, I don't know what I was in the beginning, but
like a friend,
right?
Like a, father.
Shit, them our kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then over time, that's how it was. It was like, you know what? This is, he's he's my son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's our son. So it wasn't just like get your son or whatever. Now sometimes when the kids get us mad, depending on who said it first, I'll be like, get your daughter. That's your child. You claim her today. I'll claim her tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But that's just,
If I could just chime in just a little bit because
Mhm.
I can resonate a little bit with what she's saying. I have two stepdaughters and they're both teenagers and I came into their life when they were already older. So they were already like 11 and 12. So it made it a little bit harder for me because they were already of age and they don't have their mom in their life. So that made it even harder because trying to communicate how I parent and how they were already being parented was very two different styles. You know what I mean? And then sometimes it's hard to get through to them because it's like you have to learn your place between being the parent and being the person's partner because you want to keep their secrets and stuff like that and you want to be there for them, but you do in a sense have a say so. You do because if especially if you're one of the people in their life that you're taking care of them every day, you're doing everything for them. You take them to school, you feed them, you dress them, you bathe them, you're giving them money. You have a little bit of a say, so you do. And it's true what Mrs. Jackson is saying. The parent is always going to be the one that makes the final choice. And that's just is what it is. But you do have that window to say something. And your partner should be able to receive it. And even if they don't receive it well, just try to deliver it as best as you can and I promise you, they will listen. Even if it's not right at that moment, I've had moments where he'll even come back and be like, damn, I should have listened. And I just sit there like, like, I'm sorry. But it's all about how far are you willing to go?
Chris has something to say, and we have two questions. So we're going to allow Chris to take the floor. He got a lot to say. Go ahead.
Oh,
Chris. Damn.
Okay.
He had so much to say. He blew up his screen, Jesus.
So we're going to go on to the questions that's in the audience. Queen D has a question. What's marriage like with adult kids being in the home?
If they make you mad, you punch them in the face, you won't have to go to jail. Oh, I said that. My bad. Go ahead, babe.
Y'all know he ain't for real. Life with adult children is interesting because they really feel like they're adults. You teach them to clean the kitchen a certain way and they still don't do it. It's really interesting with adult children. I'm one of those moms who always used to say, and I say used to say, that they don't have to leave home if they don't want to. And now I'm not so sure about that. I think I spoke too soon. So life with adult children in the home is interesting. The Airbnb that we stayed in Miami was a 2-in-1, and we were just dreaming and daydreaming and thinking about it just being us and our 9-year-old and how wonderful that would be.
Yeah.
Now, the other question.
My parenting skills are a little bit different.
Oh, yeah, Chris had a lot to say.
Because everybody would have, no. Mandy said that sometimes you have a little bit of say. No, hell, I got a lot of say. If I'm doing all that, if I'm paying money, you living in the house with me and all it. Now, we got a lot to say. Now, granted, when it comes to the discipline side, I can understand what you're saying. But as far as regular stuff, I got a lot to say. Little boy, you better sit down somewhere. I ain't got time. So and
I hear you
that builds your respect. I like me, I guess, I don't know. Maybe because with my my ex-wife's daughter, it was different. Like I didn't take nothing, and she was 13. You not ever gonna disrespect me. You not gonna talk back to me. You're not gonna talk back to your mama. I don't know where you been, where you thought you was, or where you think you're gonna be, but Hello, I'm here. This is your new line of thinking.
Yes.
I will think for you. You don't move until I tell you to move. But I
Especially
know
the
everybody
respect
is not
part.
like that.
The respect part is big for me with the children. You don't have to like what we're saying. I tell that to my stepdaughters all the time. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but what I'm telling you is the truth, and what I'm telling you is for your better good. So
Yes.
you'll learn eventually that I was right.
Queen B says a lot of say
Yeah,
so.
exactly. These are kids. These are kids.
I think I
Mhm.
struggle with those labels.
Oh, poor baby.
I
Who the
struggle
hell?
with
Our O-U-R.
Yeah.
Yours. O-Y-O-U-R-S.
Now my husband
We.
tread lightly with me, with our son. He smoothly moved on in there, and I'm daddy on me. He
Oh.
didn't just come out like I'm daddy. He
right.
moved it on in there, and before I knew it, it was what it was, and I
Well, he
was
a
fine
smooth
with
cat. Yeah, he a smooth cat. That's what he
I
do.
appreciate that.
Like, I mean, but like me, if he'd have lost that Game Boy and you went and bought another one, I'd have lost my keys to my car and went and got a new one.
that. Oh Lord, a whole new car.
I lost my
You could have
keys.
just went to the dealer and got some keys.
No,
That
no.
don't justify. That don't rectify. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yes, it do. That
It
does
would have been a
What
rectify.
is
ghetto
next?
Concord.
She said, "Whole car loose."
You want a
Wow.
whole car? You gonna compare a Game Boy to a whole car?
Yes,
The principle is the same.
both both
Pass
provide
the
both
grand
provide
kids better or worse.
recreational therapy.
Right. Both of them the same. The principle is the same. You lost something,
Yep,
I lost something. He
yep.
got to replace it, I
About
get
to
mine
lose my mind. That's what I would have done.
replaced. She said, wait,
Queen Bee
Okay.
says,
next
"Have
question.
things changed since the grandbaby arrived? Better or worse?"
Things have definitely changed with the grandbaby. Some things are better, and some things are
Yeah.
horrendous.
Okay. All right.
The baby herself is amazing. She's phenomenal. She's gorgeous. She is a dream from head to toe.
Babe. Yeah.
She didn't get here by herself.
Exactly. She didn't get
Damn.
it by herself, and the parents.
You have to take good, bad, and indifferent.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, on the episode of
The bold, the black, and the
I
beautiful.
told you. I told you. I told you.
So that's all we're gonna say about that. We're gonna get deeper into it once we start talking about narcissism. And that's gonna give you a hint as to what we're dealing with right now. Yeah.
the next question.
How about we lighten the mood? What's the best part about being married?
So
Say it again. What was that? What was the question?
What's the best part about being married for so long?
the best part about being married so long is our friendship
Yes.
and having someone that has your back
Yes.
no matter what.
The knowing that the person knows you,
Understands you.
and understands you, and somewhat completes your sentences type deal without actually completing them, if that makes sense. It's like if I'm getting ready to say something, she already knows some of what I'm thinking.
Even if I don't know what he's thinking, he knows he can come to me.
Right.
He can come to me and tell me, and I'm not going to judge him. I'm going to listen to understand.
Right. I can be vulnerable. I can shed a tear without her saying, "Why the hell you crying?" Men, when you hear that men don't cry type deal or whatever, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have a problem with shedding a tear. But she knows if I get emotion, she likes to see me show emotions, because not a lot of men will show emotions. You see what I'm saying? So if I do get to a point where I am emotional, she knows that something is up.
Something really, really wrong.
Right. Not to say I don't
or
show,
a
but
huge buildup.
Right.
Because men have a tendency to do that. Well, men and women let things build up because everybody's trying to be strong. Everybody's trying to project this positive. I'm going forward and we're moving in faith and all of this kind of stuff when it's hell breaking loose all around you and bombs going off behind you.
Mhm.
So sometimes it just becomes too much and you have to let the veil down and lay in the bed and cry or put your head in their lap and cry and be like, this shit is really hard. Such and such, I'm tired of dealing with this. Such and such, I'm tired of dealing with that. And what are we going to do or how are we going to get through it or what is the next step? And then you have to brainstorm about what to do and work through these kinks.
Right.
And if you don't know what to do, sometimes you got to bring in an outside party. You got to ask for some advice. Talk to your friends. Have you ever heard of this? Ask some questions. You can't do it all alone. You definitely need a community.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God we have some great people we can depend on, man.
Yes, we definitely do. And you have to, and when you get your community, you have to make sure your community has your back as you have their back. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna go to this friend because that friend may not
everybody's gonna understand.
Right. And you're gonna hear about that also in some of our other shows about people we chose to, call friends. You'll hear about
to engage.
Right. So that part. What was Brittany saying?
Going back a little bit, Brittany says, I always allow my kids to express how they feel because their feelings need to be validated too. But they need to tell me respectfully because sometimes even as adults, we can be wrong in our actions. Now, I'm that kind of parent. You can let me know. You can talk to me again, respectfully. And I have no problem apologizing if I was wrong either. Because that's another component that some adults feel like they never have to apologize. I take care of you, goddammit. I ain't got to apologize for a goddamn thing. That's the way we grew up. That's all the apology you need. You got a roof, you got clothes, you got food. End the story. But I wasn't that kind of parent. I would let them talk. Now some things I'm hearing as an adult, I can't believe my ears, y'all. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Some things I'm hearing from the adult children's. Wow, man.
Their feelings are a lot different from when they were little.
We can't get into everything because this is a public forum. We're not trying to put all our business on Front Street, but just know, send some positive vibes our way, some healing energy, some universal.
I was sure about to ask a question personal.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
So, because y'all been married for 20, we're just going to say 20 years. We're going to just put a zero. Now we're going to give y'all that 23 plus years, right?
Yes.
So, how have you been, or have you been aware of a shifting in your sexual relationship?
Wow.
Has it been a shift?
The sexual relationship definitely fluctuates.
Yeah.
When you're a newlywed, it's constant.
Yes.
Because everything is new. You're so happy to be married, blah, blah, blah. As the stress and the problems come on, it becomes a little bit less frequent. And you may go longer than you expect, longer than you ever went. For some people, that's a week. For some people, that's 3 days, 2 weeks. And while we were separated, it was nothing going on. Now we have had moments where health issues have kept you from getting it on the regular. Now I will also say that even if you do have health issues that in our case might have held you up, those do pass if you start eating right. We don't exercise like we should, but we do get some physical activity because we gotta move around. We got a 9-year-old, you know what I'm saying? And if we do nothing else, we take our sea moss and drink water.
Right.
And that has helped immensely.
Yes.
Taking sea moss, y'all, has completely taken away, excuse me, gentlemen, the menstrual cramps. So that is the
sea moss. Check.
Yes,
sea moss, good.
Sea moss takes away the menstrual cramps. Now, I will say that in the beginning, sex was like a sport and not so. I mean, we did make love, but because you did it so much, it was kind of a sport. Now, it is a love-making experience.
Right.
And it has gotten better and better. And when we do we just look at each other like, I can't believe it's this good.
There you go.
So if you take your time and do it right, if you listen to your partner, and I know everybody's doing so many things. I see so many things on IG with slings and swings and wands and roses and all of this kind of stuff.
Be careful. You know what happened last time we talked about slings and swings.
Not everybody, everything ain't for everybody. That's all I'm going to say. Do what works for you.
Exactly.
You don't have to swing from the chandelier if you don't want to. And if missionary is the best satisfying position for you, do missionary. If doggy style, if doggy style is the best,
you ask the question, you're gonna get the answer.
Do doggy style.
Yes.
You don't have to follow any trends. Do what works for you.
Facts.
Chris said he's gonna stay on the trend.
Who is stuck on missionary?
Oh, a lot of people say missionary is boring. You ain't heard that?
It is boring.
No, look at Queen Bee. Look Queen Bee.
What she said?
Ain't nobody trying to do this. Don't take a missionary.
We have no.
Lord.
Disclaimer: we have no smell goods on the table.
No smell goods on the table.
The show will commence. Trust us. It's no. No, it's not. It's not about the end. No, we're good.
Queen Bee.
We have no smell. We're good.
Now.
Smell goods.
Yes, because that's all it takes, honey.
That's it.
If one of us is feeling good, it's time to go.
You
be like,
hey,
on.
Listen.
At the shower when they just put all the lotion.
Fresh out the shower, Manny. I see you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's
so,
it.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
Fresh out the shower, smelling good. Listen.
If she'd had something that smelled good on her right now, if I'd have smelled it, would have been this.
Oh, I thought it was gone. I thought it was gone.
I would have understood that.
Hey, you just seen on your screen, off the stage, backstage, all that. You just gone.
Oh, Brittany say, hear me out. Brittany say, hear me out. Every woman deserves a rose. Every woman doesn't have a desire to experience that, though. Some women are not turned on by that. Some women love penetration more than the clitoral stimuli.
For me, I just need a whole human. I need a human.
Yes.
I don't know. Every woman deserves no rose. Piece of garbage.
Yeah. Some women like a man's lips more than anything. Some women like the penetration more than anything. Right. Every woman is different. And I don't know what's going on with this grocery eating foolishness that's going on. Everybody don't like that either. I ain't put my mouth on nobody's behind. That's all I'm gonna say.
Are you talking about
save the groceries for the actual store?
But to y'all adventurous people,
yes.
do your thing.
Do your thing.
It ain't no judgment. I'm just not. I'm not on that train.
We're good.
I'm judging you. I'm gonna tell you, you got a shitty mouth. Everything you eat off of is paper or plastic.
Yes, Chris say, "God damn it, don't be talking to me with that stank breath."
Get out my face.
She's like,
"Oh boy,
he ate mine and I ate his too."
No. Everything you eat off of better be plastic or paper. Don't touch my stuff. I'll make your plate.
Yeah. What you say?
Oh, Queen B says, so when does DNA After Dark start? Today.
So today. Sounds like we might need to have an exclusive Divine DNA After Dark type show.
And what we want to say about sex is extremely important to your union. If you're not having sex, it's you leaving a big gap open for somebody to step in. And I'm not talking about that foolishness where they say if you don't do it, then another woman down the street is willing to do it. But you need that connection.
Right.
That connection is very important. To me, sex is extremely important, and life is too short for bad sex. So make sure before you get married, that person is on your same page. Don't try to change them after you get married. You better learn
That's one of my entry questions.
You better ride that horse before you get married, and you better make sure you're compatible. Sex is extremely important, and you need to be doing it. I made a comment I posted on one of my Facebook pages, and somebody came on there talking about sexless marriages. I'm like, mine ain't sexless. And if it was, we got to hurry up and remedy that. We ain't going through that. I need mine.
Yes.
We don't have to figure it out. And if you are in a sexless marriage, why? If you can't remedy it, why are you staying? Now, I'm not talking about if they got an accident, they became a paraplegic, and now they can't perform for you. That's not what I'm talking about, because that's part of your vows. I'm talking about two able-bodied people just not having sex and probably having sex with other people, but you staying married. Why? What's the point? Just divorce and be free.
Religion?
No.
Maybe that's the failure part.
That some people think about, oh, I failed too. Like if I choose, I've heard this before. Like I can't get a divorce, and because it's just I did all of this, and now I'm just gonna get a divorce. Yeah, why not?
Well, see, that's where the communication comes in. That if you're feeling some type of way, if I'm feeling some type of way where my job is stressed or something, you have to talk. You have to let your partner know, like, okay, this is where I'm at. So therefore, you guys can talk it out together. If you have to seek help, seek help. If you need something to take, just to help with it, you have to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to execute. Right, and then execute. You have to make sure. You have to make sure that if it's something that's not directed to your partner, if you love your partner, you're attracted to your partner, but something is holding you back. Because if you're having a stressful situation to where you can't focus in on trying to please your mate, you have to talk to your mate and let your mate know, your spouse know, like, listen, man, this is really, really doing something to me. You have to communicate that, because if you don't communicate that, then either spouse, they're going to start wondering, like, well, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Right. And then the question is there somebody else? In their mind, is there somebody else? That's going to be the first go-to question if you don't talk. Yeah. Is there someone else?
What's going on? And why aren't you touching me?
Right.
Because if you aren't touching me, you might be touching somebody else. So what's really going on? Communication is extremely important. Sex is very important. If you are in a sexless marriage, you need to be getting some therapy or evaluations to find out medically, why is it sexless? Can it be repaired? If it can be repaired, are you willing to do the work and get it together so that you can? It's not worth it. Like, we only here for a short time. Life is short, and you need to be as happy as you possibly can be for the time that you're here. And that includes having excellent sex, not mediocre, not passable, excellent sex. And I'm with Storm. Storm saying, I'm not staying. I will ask for forgiveness. Yes, if we're both able-bodied and we're not having sex because we're really not compatible, we gonna part ways.
And I feel like just sometimes it's more for more. I hear a lot more people tired, especially like after pandemic and stuff like that. A lot of people have been suffering with time and just time to even do to do, because you have to, everything is just that much harder now and that much more stressful. So, what is some advice really fast that you could give to someone who is struggling with wanting to stay together, not separating, but wanting to stay together, but doesn't know how to communicate well, that they're struggling with something inside them? Like it's not
Right.
them. You know how, like you said, oh, it must be somebody else. What if it's just not anybody else? What if it's just that person?
Well, that sounds like unresolved trauma.
Mm.
So you got to get down to the root of the problem. And believe me, we've all gone through some things since 2020. That was a horrible time. It was a terrible time. We were afraid. We were constantly under stress. If we get this bug, are we going to die? If is any of my family members going to get this bug? Are they going to die? Am I going to catch it at work? It was so much going on.
Yeah.
It's still a lot going on. And some of us haven't had a chance to unpack any of that because you still have to keep going. But even if you unpack it little by little, just enough to say, damn, I have been through a lot. Let me take it a bit easier on myself today. Let me be a little bit more graceful with myself today. What can I do for myself today that would be just for me to make me feel better? Would it be taking 10 minutes before I walk in my house to just have some quiet?
Yes, I do that. I do that often. To so that way, whatever goes on outside of the home, I don't bring it. I don't bring it in. It's almost like I'm allowing that negative energy to be released from me, so that way I won't bring it into no one here in the house. You know, during the time that it was COVID, we never. I didn't give her a hug or a kiss until after I showered because it was, as much as we, if I had something to do with the show or whatever, it's like I hurry up and did it, took a shower. So therefore we can connect. We can like say, hey, I had a good day, give you a hug and kiss, hold hands or whatever. But during that time, it definitely was stressful because normally when you come home, hey babe, how you doing? Get a hug and a kiss. And it's like
routine.
It was like routine. As I come home, clothes off in the washer, robe on the top of the washer, put on my robe, go upstairs, take a shower. And once I take a shower, it's like, okay, I'm good. Go downstairs, put my clothes in the dryer for the next day. So.
But communication is everything. You have to start unpacking little by little what's going on with you. What's your triggers? Because we've all developed them, especially with the pandemic, and it's still a lot of stress going on. The cost of living is high, gas is high, food is high. It's hard to go out and do a date because everything is so expensive. And even if you shop and bring everything at home, food is high. Everything is still expensive. But we're in this world and we just got to make the best of it as much as we can. I don't care if you sit and eat your food on paper plates in your bed and watch Power. That is a date if it's with your partner.
Yes.
And that's your alone time. And I mean, you got to make the best of every situation.
Yes.
It may not be perfect or even the way you think it should look or the way you would like it to look or the way you imagine, but you have each other. If you have each other, you love each other, and you're working through this life together, you got to make the best of it. You got to celebrate that.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
And communicate as best as you can. You can be like, babe, I'm really stressed. And I'm really stressed because everything, the world is going crazy. It's shootings going on. The politicians are making these crazy laws. The school system is going crazy with the teacher shortages. Teachers are being arrested for misconduct. It's so much going on in this world.
Right.
And to top it off, the gas is high, the food is high. the rent, the mortgages, the homeowners insurance is going up. I mean, so many things are happening, but you got to talk through it with your partner. And if you don't feel like you can talk to your partner, or if you feel like you are burdening them, buy a notebook and write it in a journal.
Right. I was going to say, right, get a journal and write. If someone's having the trouble to communicate, like they want to talk or whatever, she used to, sometimes she used to journal, and sometimes just with, that sometimes she used to write letters. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she wanted to say something, but just didn't know how to say it, but she could write it down on paper.
And it would sound better on paper.
It would sound better
than the way I would speak it.
Right. You write a letter, and that's it. There are ways of communicating. If you're I was used to her writing in a journal. So to receive a letter, it wasn't like, what the hell is this? It was more like, okay, she wrote something down. It's for me. So let me go ahead and just read it and see, what's it all about. As long as you're talking, as long as you're communicating, and a lot of times when you are stressed, you both know that you both are stressed because you can see it. You know what I'm saying? You can see it in your face. There are people who noticed that we were stressed just by coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? They was like, the hell?
They look different.
They look different.
The vibe is different.
You know what I'm saying? They knew. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Storm, everything is high. Yes.
So communication is everything. And now I'm at a point where I don't have to write letters. Now I'm able to fully communicate my thoughts. I may have to step back so I don't say some things in anger and don't go overboard. And sometimes, hell, you gotta cuss. You gotta tell people how you really, really feel so they'll get it. Because sometimes, no matter how nice you are, some people just don't get it.
Yeah.
And you have to come out the bag on them in order to wake them up so that they will get it. And I'm not talking about being disrespectful. I'm talking about just cursing to as an alert. But
the alternate language that you got.
Stuff like that. I'm here for the communication, and I'm able to better articulate myself more now than ever. So with practice comes progress. Yeah. Brittany said something. Brittany said, yes, I know married couples who hardly ever do it because of their religious beliefs. Oh, no. Some people only do it to produce children. That's very sad. It's important to have those kinds of conversations before getting into something. Yes. Man, that's got to be so sad. You only have sex to have kids. Ooh, Lord.
Jesus.
Some religions are like that. They only get married to have children, and they're told how many children they're going to have.
That's terrible. Mm-hmm. That is terrible.
Like we lost Chris.
Yeah, Chris is having some technical difficulties, so we don't know if anybody else has anything else. If anybody else has anything that they wanted to ask, we're going to get down to final questions.
Yep. Anybody have any final questions?
You have anything else, Mandy? Or you good, Mama?
No, you answered pretty much all my questions, and I've gotten a lot of good advice even for myself. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're so welcome, and we appreciate you being here, Mama.
Most definitely.
It's always a pleasure.
It's like coming home. It's like home away from home for me. So thank you for asking me to come back home.
So we'll take a quick break,
and we'll come
back with closing comments
and an affirmation.
And our affirmation.
Yes. All right. We'll be right back, guys.
Hey there. In the mood for some style? Well, make your way over to queenbeehustle.com. Miss Hustle don't play no games now. She gave y'all options, keychains to multi-purpose trays to t-shirts. Select products can even be customized, all of which are made by this beautiful lady here, Miss Queen Bee. Head on over to queenbeehustle.com where hustle and creativity uniquely meet.
Yes, we know. Yes. We know her, y'all.
The Queen, baby.
Queen Bee's in the building all day. Well, we thank you guys for coming through. We had a wonderful time.
Thank you to our excellent panel, Mandy and Chris.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody that's out there in comment land. Hi, Amani. We appreciate everybody for coming through. We appreciate all the comments.
Yes.
If you have relationship questions or topics that you'd like to discuss, you can remain anonymous for your relationship questions if it's about you. And if you have topics you'd like to discuss, you can put them in. You can hit us up. support@divinedna.life
Okay.
for your relationship questions and topics you'd like to discuss.
Yes.
Also, please follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Divine DNA.
Yes.
We have started doing shorts over there, so you'll get more than just our live videos. We have some great content over there. Our trip to Miami has quite a few shorts of all the beautiful water, Biscayne Bay, the beach and the scenery, the Airbnb. We had a good time. And we're trying to kick up our content game and give you some variety.
Right.
So be sure to go over to our YouTube page, Divine DNA. Subscribe, like, comment, and please share.
And Mandy, we know you got a couple of things that you'd like to share with the people before you go.
Yes, Mandy is an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And we want to hear about the wet drops. What do the wet drops do?
Wait a minute. Wait
I
a
have
minute.
so many
We have to
new
save that for
projects.
the
It
after.
sounds cute, right? It makes me think, ooh, what's that? So Wet Straps is my new baby. Well, one of them. It's my all natural and herb store. So I do a lot of stuff for the hair. I'm getting into skin right now and lip glosses. But my number one baby will always be the Ugly Pretty Chick shop, where you can get all your protective jewelry from me, blessed by me, because I did become a minister in September officially.
Oh, okay.
So I set intentions that you want to set with your jewelry, and I send it out to you. I also created the Lunar Family Book Club and group support group. We meet every Sunday at 12 o'clock. Right now we're reading A New Earth, which is describing just about us and our egos and going in and our relationships with ourselves and other people and the relationship of God and self and God and the universe. We also have been tapping into shadow work, which everything we do is going to be into your healing. We're not the ones that heal you. You heal yourself. We just give you those tools. I actually started a fundraiser on my Ugly Pretty Chick page with this bracelet. And it's just like, let me see. My jewelry is always all over the place. It's an evil eye bracelet. And when you purchase this bracelet, all proceeds go towards the Lunar Family Book Club and support group, where I buy materials for every newcomer. That way they don't have to worry about anything. We also do projects right now. We're doing a God box. So if you guys want to do it for yourself, you just create a little box or a jar, and every day you could either throw affirmations in there and take one out, or you could put a prayer or something you want to communicate with the universe or God to get it off your chest. So I have all of those great things going on. And if you guys ever want to join, you could head over to my my Instagram or my TikTok or even my Facebook. Please feel free to email me and ask me about the book club and how you can join. We even have Discord, where we all gather every day, and I send daily positive tea affirmations for everyone, and we also get horoscopes. So it's been pretty cool.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like I'm like changing the world little by little.
Mandy's showing out. I see.
Yes.
That's what's up.
If I was coming home, I had to come home with some accolades.
Yes.
Make sure you guys check out Mandy, Ugly Pretty Chick, on Instagram. And all of her information is there. Take your screenshots.
Yes.
And all is welcome. It's a judgment-free zone. I also offer private sessions. I know some people don't do too well in groups. I know sometimes I don't. So I do shadow work, but separately, or any kind of healing that they need. And right now we also are trying to get into a space for addicts. So that will be the next project. When I come back home, I'll definitely tell you about that.
Awesome. That's what's up.
Be sure to check out our girl. Be sure to explore her website. Get your healing energy and vibes. We have our Sacred Yin Secrets in the audience too, who is also on the healing energy and vibes. Check out our girl, Sacred Yin Secrets as well. On the Breakthrough Show Network, I don't think we have any shows next week.
But in the morning we have.
But every morning is Project Joy at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Make sure y'all check
out that show.
Project some joy, honey.
Yes.
And we also want to give our affirmation to close out the show.
Yes.
So, in light of Mental Health Awareness Month and mental health, we need to just make it day after day after day. It needs to be daily. So our affirmation is, when someone tells you that you are doing too much, it's usually because they're not doing enough. Guilt, projection, and gaslighting. Guard your hearts, minds, and mental health, everybody. And if you're around people who are trying to steal your thunder, recognize it for what it is. You are enough. Yes, and happy Mother's Day to the mamas coming up. Thank you so much.
Mother's Day, everyone.
Yes, all you beautiful moms out there that are doing it.
And remember, speak up for yourselves. Speak up for yourself. You can articulate yourself, and even like she said, even if you have to curse, please speak up for yourself.
Yes, speak up for yourself. Defend yourself, because the takers don't mind taking everything you got to give, and then try to make you feel bad if you try to set some boundaries. Okay, so do what you got to do to protect yours. Okay, the Breakthrough Show says network next week. The story of Stuart Elliott is premiering at 6 p.m. on Friday. So check out the Breakthrough Show Network, you guys. There's lots of good stuff over there, inspiring, informative, and positive vibes.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We thank everybody in the audience. We thank the crew that hangs out with Mr. Chris for coming through.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. I'm
yes,
sorry,
no problem.
I to interrupt you. I'm just excited. This show was really good.
Yes, Mandy, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. And always, Queen Bizzle in the building. We always appreciate you for helping us out and giving Chris a hard time. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. You gave him so much a hard time, he couldn't even come back.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. And see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Y'all make sure y'all come back in 2 weeks now. You hear? Bye.